Hello, I'm Chris Williams, and I'm back with a review of The Flash issue 70, Year 1. This issue is a retelling of the original origin of The Flash, where they've modernized it and revamped a few things. We'll start off with the cover. The cover is good. It was made by Howard Porter for the art and cover. It shows the Flash in regular clothes with his logo on his chest, who's basically wearing out a bunch of different kinds of shoes because at first when the Flash learned how to use his powers, Barry Allen basically burned through shoes like a hot knife through butter. Literally. Look at those shoes all melted and corroded from his speed. You can see the power oozing out of the Flash. His eyes are glowing with lightning as the lightning flashes out. It's a really good cover. Here we have the first page, where we have a future version of the Flash, who's basically silhouetted in a window. Now, the one who's looking out through the window is a younger version of Barry Allen. He can't really see the Flash. This is all metaphor for what he will eventually grow into. And we read the line here, Chapter 1, he will be the fastest man alive. I gotta really love this artwork by Howard Porter. It's really good. Here we see the actual Barry Allen as he's going through his mother's old comics. You see the lightning went out, so he decided to amuse himself by reading a bunch of those old comics. And he's particularly liking the old Flash issues, who was the original Flash, who currently resides in Earth 2. That's Jason Garrick. Barry Allen's really enjoying the comics, and he tells his mother that he is. She's worried about him because he's up there by himself, and she goes over to the window commenting on how the storm is. She goes to see she bends down to look at her son, and she notices that he has a black eye. Apparently he had gone to a fight earlier. He tells his mother he was trying to stop these kids from bullying this other kid. Well, at first she thought he was getting bullied, so she says he should have told her father, but then he does say that he was trying to stop a bunch of bullies, and they punched him out. She's worried about him, but she's proud that he was standing up and trying to help people. And Barry Allen says he just wants to grow up to be a hero and be a good person and help people when he's grown up. This is good artwork by Howard Porter. It's not the best art I've ever seen, but it's good. It's better than some of the art I've seen at Marvel recently. It just seems more dynamic. I mean, this is just ordinary panels, a mother and son just talking to each other, but it's good. And the writing by Joshua Williamson is very good. Here we see Barry Allen getting a hug from his mother very soon she's going to be murdered by the Reverse Flash. So we see this touching moment fading out, and we see a panel saying "You're late, Allen." This as we jump forward to a point where Barry Allen is now a forensic investigator for his city's police department. Here he's checking out a murder scene where this man had been killed while he was running from a bunch of hired killers. This guy comes to his own conclusions and thinks that it went like this, that he died while he was standing still or on the ground already. But Barry Allen notices how his shoes are scuffed and how his clothes are torn, and he died obviously while he was running. He was shot in the back. Here we see Barry Allen's, not soon-to-be wife, but a woman he will get into a relationship eventually, Iris West, a sort of meddling reporter that the police find rather troublesome to be around because she's always grilling cops for more information on cases. Here she's commenting on what went down here and talking to Barry Allen and his friend. Barry Allen, after work, goes home and he comments on how life is tough, but even though life is tough, he watches a family playing with a ball, and he comments that it's not all bad, but he wishes he could do more for the world. And he does see, and he's happy that he saw something actually positive. He walks past the family on his way home, still feeling a bit bummed, but picking up. He continues to work on a cold case, the murder of his mother, who was killed by the Reverse Flash, the Reverse Flash pinned the crime on Barry Allen's father. And he continues to believe that his father is innocent and was wrongly accused. And he's trying to figure out a way to find evidence to liberate him from prison. And he continues to look at the board about different evidence, because this is before Barry Allen learned about the Reverse Flash. Continues to keep working, even though a storm very much like the one that happened earlier in the issue when he was with his mother. Even though that storm with the reddish clouds and with the yellow lightning flashes through the sky beside him in the window, he doesn't notice it. It's very much like, as I said, like the storm that happened when he was a kid. When suddenly the lightning hits the window, smashing open, and lightning hurls itself at Barry Allen. He's electrocuted while being flung into different various chemicals that the forensic department has stored there. He's suddenly his body's on fire, burning as the chemicals burn into it, as the lightning electrodes up and down his body, starting to set the chemicals off and starting to burn him. He's taken to the hospital after he's found by his friend. A few months go by as he's in a coma, and Barry Allen's body heals. He finally wakes up, remembering what happened, with a giant screaming, "No!" And he finds himself in the hospital. At first, Barry Allen isn't sure what's going on, but very soon he begins to realize something is different. Everything seems off to him. Well, what happens? Because he ends up causing an accident, but when he causes a table with his food on it to be tipped over, but instead of just the food hitting the floor, the food is flying. All he can do is look on as he suddenly realizes his food is just floating there. And he says, he grabs the food, and like it's floating in midair, and he puts it all back on the tray. It wasn't floating, he realizes. He was just moving incredibly fast, he begins to realize. You see here, as he begins to realize what is happening, as he grabs the food out of the air with preternatural speed far beyond any mortal man. At first he doesn't know. He probably thinks it is just flying. Well, Barry Allen finally sets his food back on the tray, and he's flabbergasted what just happened. Maybe he thinks this is a dream or not. He's not quite sure. He just stands there. But then he begins to move, and he finds himself all over the place, as he finds himself in the Arctic, next to his police department. And then he realizes that he has super speed. Days go by. He talks to his friends after he's let out of the hospital, and he begins to start testing his new powers. He goes through shoes constantly. He leaves a pile of his old shoes that he ends up destroying over in a corner to remind him that this is not a joke. This could very well kill him. He eventually gets tired of buying new shoes. That he ends up getting these specially treated shoes made by Wayne Tech for firefighters. So he begins to test them out. Here we see Barry Allen getting ready to test out these new shoes. And he starts to visualize. He just decides to try what is top speed for him. And he sighs and says, "Okay, let's go." Barry Allen begins to run. He runs fast. He runs so fast that it's unbelievable. And I'll just leave off the issue here. I have to leave something out of it for the next issue when I review Flash 71. But I gotta tell you, I really like this artwork, and I'm really enjoying this retelling of Flash's origin. Now, if you like this review, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're just watching but you haven't subscribed, please just subscribe. And remember, when you hit that bell and get notifications, I will always keep updating with new videos every day. Remember to leave a like and leave some comments down below. And remember, Keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own independent comic book, Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams. I'll be back tomorrow with another review.